I finally made it on a Saturday. I had been having to reschedule to Sunday the last couple of weeks because it's just been a little crazy around here. Welcome to my weekly live chat. Hey, everybody. I am Mary from Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and I'm in a different spot in one of my gardens today because I wanted to share something extra special with you today. So if you are just joining me for the first time, welcome. And for those of you that join me regularly, welcome back. If you if you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not. And comment. Let me know where you are. Let me know what you're doing on this beautiful Saturday morning here. I am in East Texas, specifically Ben Wheeler. And I wanted to talk to you about a couple things that we have going on, questions that have been asked. Every time I go live here, it's like a Q&A. You guys are welcome to ask me any questions that you have. My Facebook lives are a little longer. They're almost an hour, like 45 minutes. And my YouTube lives are usually a little shorter, like 20, 25 minutes. Because I like to when I'm out here, I have to stop working in the garden, wash my hands. And then once I'm done with my live chats, I usually go back out to the working in the garden. Hey, Patty, you're in Mexia, Texas. First time you've caught me live. Awesome. Very cool. You guys can always watch the replays. My Facebook live chats have been deleted by Facebook after 30 days. So I have been uploading those so you guys can see the replay at a later time. In the description section of this video, you'll find a link to my comprehensive planting guide, my October seed sale, October 2025 seed sale. My glasses are crooked. I have an appointment for an eye exam today and new glasses. These have served me well, but they're a little wonky now. So I am going to answer some of your questions. If you guys have questions while I'm live, definitely do it. Hey, Tiger Lily in San Diego, listening on your way to work. And then I wanted to share with you this beautiful plant here. So before I get Buster Kitty, I was hoping he would come back. He's been off roaming the property for the last 2 hours. All right, so before I get into the questions, I wanted to share this with you. Come on over, buddy. Yep, this is Ty Roselle. This is red Ty Roselle. I have to pet the kitty here. Hey, Esther's daughter, thanks for joining us. So this is a beautiful plant. It usually grows about 3 to 5 feet tall. It's more of a tree right now. Behind me, I made a mistake. I put more than one seed in a container. These are 25-gallon containers. Good morning, Diane. And I put more than one in there. There's one thing that is common with my customer feedback is the seed germination is awesome. And sometimes you go, well, I'm going to plant 2 or maybe 3 in a container and just in case. Well, I did that with this, and the stems of this plant are like tree trunk status. And so it fell over because it was so top heavy. So fortunately, the roots grew down into the ground and it's still getting nutrients and moisture that way. So it's still alive. This one, on the other hand, there's only one in a 25-gallon container and it's doing fantastic upright. And so if you don't know what Ty Roselle is, it's part of the hibiscus family. It takes a long time to grow. It prefers full sun. It is drought tolerant. It does not like too much water, but it does need water, obviously. This is a beautiful plant, by the way. I'm sitting down. I considered standing because it's that tall. But it takes a long time to produce, which can be difficult for people in shorter growing seasons. This is 100 plus days to germinate, 100 plus days to produce. And it's just now producing calyxes here. These are tiny little flowers. Like I said, it is in the hibiscus family, so it produces a beautiful flower, like an okra or a hibiscus. And from there, these little fruits here, you harvest the actual fruit. You can take the seeds out if you want. I have frozen them in the past, but I actually, now that I've had frozen versus dehydrated, I really prefer dehydrated Ty Roselle. to make tea. I make hibiscus tea out of it. So if you haven't already grown it, you can use it for tea. You can use it for jams and jellies, preserves. I prefer to make tea out of it. So just so you guys know, like I said, I have frozen this and I have dehydrated it, and I prefer dehydrated afterwards. When I used it frozen, it tasted like the freezer. And maybe that was my fault in how I packaged it in the freezer. But overall, I really prefer these dried in a dehydrator. So if you haven't already grown them, this would be a fantastic one to add to your garden for next year. If you've got 100 plus frost-free days, I definitely recommend growing these. All right, so a couple of questions that were asked over the last week, whether it's in an email, on Facebook, or any kind of, well, and Instagram. A lot of people message me on Facebook though, was about flower seeds. One of my customers asked about planting flowers. Kay says, does the Thai Roselle transplant okay? Yes, it does. It's in a pot and it's way too small. So we're approaching kind of the end of the season. So if you do transplant it, you may or may not it may go into shock depending on what your situation is in your garden. These are 25-gallon pots. So I highly recommend a large container. Now, my mom was here a couple weeks ago, and she was shocked that I actually have one growing in a kitty litter bucket as well. Mostly because I wanted to be able to share that you can grow it in different situations. So you don't have to buy these. It's not really a fancy pot, but you don't have to buy a pot or a container. You could grow it in a bucket if you really needed to. But I will say that it is much sturdier in a larger pot. The 5-gallon or whatever it is kitty litter bucket, it fell over. But the 25-gallon that had more than one plant in it also fell over because they got a little too top heavy. So I would definitely recommend it in a larger container. All right, so another question I had, Esther says, you make tea with the flowers. Yes, absolutely. The leaves are edible as well, but I make tea out of the flowers. Once it opens up and then it closes back up, it's called a calyxus. All Calyxs, I think is how it's spelt. It's also called Florida cranberry. There's a couple of different names for it, but Thai Roselle or red Thai Roselle, red Thai, it has a couple of different names to it. We sell this at Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and it's listed under heirloom seeds and it's listed under berries. So you can find it on either spot. So the next question I had was on Facebook. Someone asked about planting flowers. They want to have a no-mow area specifically for pollinators. Hi, Buster Kitty. He's staring at me right now. So they wanted to have like a no-mow area specifically for pollinators to attract a wide variety of pollinators. And the question was, should I mow it first? Should I mow it after? Should I plant it now or should I plant it later? And that is an awesome question. And what should you plant? So if you want to plant native only to your area, you're going to want to use individual seed packs. If you want a good mix for pollinators, we have a bunch of different ones. We've got wild and untamed, deer proof, plant for pollinators, butterfly garden mix. So there's a bunch of different mixes, and you just look up what's in each mix. I think I got bit. And then you can scatter those. And those are some that we carry in bulk. So if you wanted to have an ounce or 6 ounces, or maybe you want a pound, you can always reach out to me and I can maybe even customize something for you. Fun fact, I actually had a customer ask me to customize one for her. She wanted a pound of flower seeds and she wanted half and half butterfly garden and deer proof. I'm like, sure, why not? So I literally just took a half a pound of each and mixed it in a bag, mixed it all up for her and sent it off to her. So I can even customize them sometimes for you. So if you want to plant a mix, hey Jenny, thanks for joining me. If you want to plant a mix, you're going to want to clear that area by mowing it. You don't necessarily have to clear by tilling or anything. You definitely don't want to use any kind of sprays in that area if you want pollinators for that spot. So mow it down, and then you can scatter it in the winter time if you want it to naturally cold stratify, or you can take the bag and you can stick it in the refrigerator in late winter and then scatter it. That way, the seeds that need cold stratification get a chance to naturally cold stratify or use the refrigerator. And then they'll start to germinate in the spring. I wouldn't suggest scattering them right now unless it's frozen in your area, because you may not want the annual seeds to germinate and then not produce in time for winter. And again, depends on your area. So for those of you in, say, like Florida, you don't really get a winter in Central and South Florida, not a long winter anyway. So you could plant them now. You could put them in the refrigerator for 3 weeks, scatter those seeds out, and then you're good. So mow first, spread your seeds, you're good. Let's see, what's another one? Crimson clover is a really good one too. And we have those in much larger quantities if that's something you want to do for like a pollinator area. So there are a lot of different options for you. We've got crimson clover, medium red clover, white Dutch clover. All of those are available in bulk. And those are all fantastic for pollinators. And depending on your area, you can, again, in more southern areas, you could plant them now and they'll probably have time to germinate. I generally spread clover either in late summer for a fall clover, or I'll do it in late winter for an early spring germination and production. So those are all great for pollinators. If you want to have a good like no-mow area, we have what I call my front forest, which it gets mowed during the summertime because I don't want rodent population to build up there, which I learned the hard way, letting it go. But then I scatter it around that area so that I've got a good amount of pollinators that don't get mowed down. Let's see. Another awesome question, and I totally forgot to bring it with me, and I will share a picture of it at a later time. Seed garlic. Which seed variety should I grow? And it's a little late in the season to be deciding on that, but if you haven't already, we still have a couple available. Again, that also depends on your area, because for those of you, like I said, in South Texas, Southern California, South Florida, you still have time to decide on what you want to grow. So if you're in a northern state where it gets really cold, you want to plant hardnecks. If you're in a southern state where it gets where it's a little warmer, you want to plant softnecks. Not to say that you can't plant hardnecks in southern states, but you're going to have to vernalize it. So you're going to have to stick your hardneck varieties in the refrigerator if you don't get cold in your area. So like, Southern California, I told my sisters, I'm sending them garlic. If you don't get cold temperatures where they are, you want to stick it in the refrigerator before you plant it, and then that gives you a much better jump on it. So also for my customers in South Florida, you want to vernalize your hardneck varieties before you plant them. Whereas softneck varieties, it's okay because they don't mind the cold. The Russian red seed garlic this year, the cloves that I just shipped out on Friday were gorgeous. They were nice and big and healthy. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. If you guys have any questions, like I said, while I'm live, just let me know. I usually just share general information and I answer questions that have been asked throughout the week. I actually just made some Thai Roselle tea this morning. It's sitting on my kitchen counter. I meant to replace my water with some iced tea this morning, but I forgot. So I'm just going to stick to water until I get back in the house. The Thai Roselle tea, hibiscus tea, is delicious. So if you are looking to expand your garden for next year and you're kind of adding to your seed wish list, check out the Thai Roselle and definitely see that. And then add some flowers as well, because you definitely want to encourage pollinators in your garden. So it's definitely a plus if you can increase your pollinator activity in the garden. By the way, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. All right, so Patty Johnson said, I ordered bluebonnet seeds for Texas. Should I plant them now or spring? You can do either. Tiger Lily says, garlic this year looks absolutely amazing. Very cool, thank you. That's right, I shared it to my personal page as well. Bluebonnets are a type, Texas bluebonnet is a type of lupine. They require cold stratification. So if you plant it in late fall or winter, here in Texas, it's going to naturally cold stratify when we get the cold snaps, and then it will germinate in spring. Or you can put it in your refrigerator before spring and then toss them out in the garden. I say toss, sprinkle your seeds. You don't have to toss them. And then you're gonna plant your seeds before your or after your frost date, depending on what you want. So to answer your question with multiple answers, sorry about that. You can plant them now, but they need cold stratification for optimal germination. So that needs to go through a cold snap, whether you put it in the refrigerator first or whether you let nature do her thing. However you want to do that works. Buster's looking at what I don't know is going on in the back acreage there. There's always critters back there, but fortunately I'm in the fence portion of my garden, so hopefully nothing will come get me while I can't see anything. All right, so another question I actually had like multiple questions from multiple people about the rewards program. So we have the loyalty rewards program here at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. The app we use is called Joy. And if you place an order, you'll receive an email that says you have X amount of points and it says redeem here. I need to fix that because I need a better explanation for my customers. It says this is how many points you have, but you may not be able to redeem them yet. So I will try and update the email notification so that it gives you better information. You can start redeeming when you hit 500 points, and you can earn points without actually having to place an order. If you sign up for the loyalty points program, you earn points. If you like my Facebook page, you can earn points. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can earn points. And then the other ones are reviewing items that you've grown from Mary's Heirloom Seeds. You can also earn points that way as well. So if you have already, whether you want it in a seed giveaway or whether you purchased it previously, you can go to Mary's Heirloom Seeds and you can write a review of whatever it was that you grew that you liked. If you liked the Thai Roselle, if you liked the spearmint or whatever it was that you grew, you can go to that specific variety or item that you purchased. Maybe it was a book that you purchased. Maybe it was a cup that you purchased that you liked. So you go to the website, you write your review, and it'll update your points. And if you have questions, please reach out to me in an email. Just if you're, especially don't get frustrated and then say, forget it, I'm done. All you got to do is send me an email, and I'm always happy to help. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com. Give me a little bit of information about what your question is, and I'll try and help you as quickly as possible. So that's a fun one. Let's see who redeemed the points. Oh, Esther's daughter, you were able to redeem your points. Very cool. So once you hit 500, you can redeem those points. There's a couple ways that you can, there's even higher options for that too. And then last but certainly not least is my 2026 garden challenges. Now, every year we do, well, every year for the last couple of years, I like to share garden challenges. And it's not like, oh, this is challenging in the garden. It's I'm challenging you or all of us. We grow kind of as a group, and we have, there's prizes for them and there's updates. Like every month I do an update post. Sorry, I got totally eaten alive by mosquitoes while I've been out here today. I completely forgot to spray myself. My mom sent me this really cool, natural, like different herb spray that keeps the mosquitoes away. And I just got a new batch of it in the mail, and now I'm itchy again. So my 2026 garden challenges have not been revealed yet. We just finished the 2025. 2026 will, now I'm having a hard time, and maybe you can give me your feedback. I normally announce the garden challenges on January 1st. I go live here on YouTube on January 1st, and I'm like, hey, this is what the garden challenges are. But I kind of want to go share the garden challenges early this year. And I don't know how I want to go about doing that. Do I announce it in November when we release the new arrivals for 2026? Do I do it in December when I don't know, maybe you're buying seeds, maybe you're not buying seeds then. Or do I do it January 1st like I've always done it? So I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do this right now. So the basics of the garden challenge is I announce the varieties that we're going to use for the garden challenges. And then I announce how it's going to work, what the challenge is. So for 2025, it was radishes. And it was the longest radish and the biggest radish. So the long obviously is self-explanatory. You use a ruler or measuring tape and you show me how long the radish was. And then the largest was weight. So you put it on a scale and tell me how much it weighed. That one was super fun. And some of our local people actually, they grew as a family and they won. You get a gift certificate. But one of the fun things is I do a monthly check-in. So that was fun because you can win prizes every month, even if you didn't win the largest or the longest radish, you might have won just from participating. And I really like that aspect of it because it gets us all kind of talking about what we're growing in our garden. So the 2026 garden challenge is going to be, again, a little slightly different than last year. I do something different every year, so it's super fun. And so I would love to hear your feedback on what, do you want me to announce it early? Do you want me to wait? I kind of like the January 1st thing, because that's just, fun and interesting, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. I think that's it for me for today, especially since I'm getting eaten alive. I need to go spray myself before I finish doing anything else in the garden. So if you have questions on that note, if you have questions, send me an email. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com, and I do actually answer. Check out the October seed sale. There's a lot of great stuff in there. Check out the seed giveaways on Facebook if you haven't. I just did a seed giveaway yesterday on Facebook. So if you're not on Facebook, I'm sorry. But it's a super easy platform to do a giveaway without having the whole like enter here, enter there, whatever. I get people complaining about it all the time, but it's free. So they can complain all they want. It's free. All right, everybody. I'm going to sign off. It's Saturday morning. It is absolutely gorgeous here in the garden here in East Texas. And I'm going to go get my hands in the dirt again. Tiger Lily says January 1st is a great idea. It's a great way to start the new year. Yeah, I kind of thought so too. I enjoy it. So anyway, that is it for me. If you've got questions, send me an email. Check out the comprehensive planting guide in the description section. Check out the seed sale. If you're still interested in garlic, click on that link for seed garlic. If it shows available online, it is ready to ship right now. If it shows out of stock, that means we are completely out of stock for the season. So if you missed it, I'm sorry. I announced it back in July of this year, and then we ship out in early October. So we do it every year. It's the same every year. It's always fun every year. The seed shop reeks of garlic for a week or two, and then we clear it all out. All right, everybody, I'm going to go sign off and get started back in the garden again. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it, and happy planting.